Picture a golden bubble, a palace where suffering, old age, and sickness are mere whispers, completely unknown. Death? Utterly inconceivable. You'd possess boundless power, beauty, love, limitless riches. Every single wish granted before it even forms. This wasn't a myth. It was one prince's extraordinary reality. But what if this man who had it all suddenly abandoned paradise? Imagine him forsaking his crown, cherished family, luxury, and security, venturing into the profound unknown for a deeper truth. What compels such a monumental renunciation? That secret is the key to true freedom. Hey there, ever feel stuck? Like you're trapped in a job you despise, a relationship that drains you, or by expectations others heap upon you? Or perhaps it's the gnawing fear of losing what you've got, or never quite getting what you desperately want. That suffocating feeling of being imprisoned is super common, isn't it? What if I told you the key to unlock your freedom is already right in your grasp? It's called detachment. Today, we're diving deep into a story that absolutely rocked human understanding of happiness and possession. The tale of Prince Siddhartha offers such a fascinating counterpoint to our relentless modern quest for material security. He genuinely had everything society tells us we should desire: staggering wealth, immense power, high status, a life seemingly devoid of worries. Yet, it was precisely that abundance, ironically, which compelled him to question his entire existence. He slowly began to grasp that real freedom isn't found in endlessly accumulating things, but rather in the glorious absence of needing to accumulate them. It's not about having possessions, but about the profound liberation from being possessed by them. And above all, it's about conquering that deep-seated fear that so often shackles us to all our stuff. So, get ready to peel back the layers and see the world through a brand new lens. You're about to embark on a journey that could seriously shift your perspective on what it truly means to be free. This is going to be good. Now, before we plunge further into Siddhartha's incredible journey, could you do us a quick favor? If you're loving what you're hearing and want to keep exploring ancient wisdom for modern life, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us bring more insightful content your way. And hey, a quick like on this video would be awesome too. Also, we'd absolutely love to hear from you. Tell us in the comments below, where in the world are you tuning in from today? What city and country are you watching from? In a vibrant corner of ancient Nepal, a prince named Siddhartha Gautama was born, enveloped by an aura of destiny. Mystical seers had foretold a remarkable future for him. He would either become a mighty universal monarch, unifying all lands, or a profound spiritual leader, a Buddha. His father, King Suddhodana, desperate to secure his son's temporal power, chose to shield Siddhartha from anything that might sway him towards a spiritual path. The king decided upon an extraordinary measure. Siddhartha would never encounter suffering. Not a single wrinkle of old age, no groan of sickness, nor the chilling sight of death would ever cross his path. To achieve this, a magnificent, sprawling palace complex was constructed, a veritable Eden, specifically designed to be an impenetrable sanctuary from the harsh realities of the world outside its towering walls. Within these gilded confines, Siddhartha's life was nothing short of an idyllic dream. Luxurious tapestries adorned every hall, exquisite gardens bloomed perennially, and the air was always filled with melodious music and the laughter of beautiful young attendants. He was perpetually surrounded by youth, vitality, and boundless beauty, shielded from any hint of decay or sorrow. Every conceivable pleasure was at his fingertips. The finest foods, the most captivating entertainment, the most comfortable silks, anything he could possibly desire was instantly provided. He grew up knowing only manufactured happiness, a perfectly curated existence where every need was anticipated and fulfilled before he even voiced it. It was a life without want, yet subtly, an unsettling undercurrent began to stir within him. Despite the flawless veneer, a quiet disquietude began to bubble beneath the surface of Siddhartha's seemingly perfect life. This constant, unblemished bliss, while outwardly fulfilling, left a nagging void. He lived in a golden prison, a magnificent cage, unwittingly preventing him from truly grasping the real, raw nature of human existence, with all its inherent challenges and joys. This carefully constructed illusion, meant to protect him, paradoxically became a barrier to profound understanding. The very luxury designed to bring happiness inadvertently fostered a subtle, growing sense of emptiness. He had no attachment to suffering because he knew none. But the seeds of curiosity about what lay beyond his perfectly manicured world were beginning to sprout, imperceptibly at first. As Siddhartha matured, a burgeoning curiosity about the world beyond the palace walls became too potent to ignore. Despite his father's stringent efforts, the prince felt an undeniable pull towards the unknown. One day, he persuaded his charioteer, Channa, to take him on an excursion outside the guarded gates, eager to witness life unfiltered by royal artifice. On these clandestine journeys, Siddhartha's eyes were opened to stark realities that profoundly shook his carefully constructed worldview. His first encounter was with a profoundly old man, his body stooped and frail, struggling to walk. The prince had never witnessed such decay, and the sight deeply disturbed him. Channa explained this was the inevitable fate of all living things, old age. Next, he came across a person writhing in the throes of a terrible illness, their body ravaged by pain. This suffering was completely alien to Siddhartha, a stark contrast to the perfect health he had always known. Channa revealed that sickness, too, was an inescapable part of the human condition, further shattering the prince's illusion of perpetual well-being. The third, and perhaps most chilling sight, was a lifeless body being carried to a funeral pyre, surrounded by grieving relatives. The finality of death, its cold, undeniable presence, struck Siddhartha with immense force. The impermanence of life, the inevitable end that awaited everyone, became a crushing realization. The golden veil, so painstakingly woven, was irrevocably torn. However, amidst these grim revelations, Siddhartha witnessed a fourth, profoundly different sight. A serene ascetic, a mendicant monk, radiating an inexplicable calm despite his simple, possessionless existence. This individual seemed completely unburdened by the world's sorrows. This vision sparked a glimmer of hope, suggesting there might be a path to peace beyond suffering. This profound series of encounters ignited an overwhelming perception of impermanence and universal suffering within Siddhartha. The comfortable illusion of his palace life dissolved completely. A deep, pervasive sadness settled upon him, coupled with an unwavering determination to find a lasting solution to this suffering that he now saw clearly in every single living being. He knew he had to act. Siddhartha now wrestled with an immense inner conflict, a battle between deep personal affection and a burgeoning spiritual urgency. He adored his family, his beautiful wife Yasodhara, and their newborn son Rahula. The thought of leaving them was agonizing, tearing at his heartstrings. Yet, the profound suffering he had witnessed outside the palace gates spurred an unstoppable, desperate yearning for truth. The decision, though heartbreaking, became irrevocably clear. He resolved to abandon the palace, his royal lineage, all his immense wealth, and his predetermined life as a prince. This wasn't a whim. It was a deeply considered, monumental commitment to finding the answer to suffering, a mission he felt compelled to undertake for all humanity. One moonless night, with the palace asleep, Siddhartha embarked on his silent, momentous departure. He stole away, leaving behind everything that bound him to his previous existence: his sleeping wife and child, his comfortable bed, his opulent chambers. This was more than a physical act of leaving. It was a powerful symbolic deed of pure, profound detachment, severing ties with the known world. He rode his horse Kanthaka with his charioteer Channa to the very edge of the royal domain. There, in a moment of ultimate transformation, Siddhartha removed his princely robes, cut off his long, dark hair, a symbol of royalty and vanity, and exchanged his luxurious garments for the simple, coarse robes of an ascetic. He was no longer a prince, but a mendicant. This radical shedding of his princely identity and elevated status was a truly powerful declaration of detachment. He literally stripped away who he was in the eyes of the world, embracing anonymity and humility. From that moment, he became a seeker, unburdened by titles, expectations, or the weight of his past. He was truly free to pursue his path. With no possessions, no royal retinue, and no fear of an uncertain future, Siddhartha began his arduous journey in search of enlightenment. He stepped into the vast unknown, guided only by his profound resolve and an unshakable inner conviction. The great renunciation wasn't an end. It was the audacious, courageous beginning of a legendary quest for ultimate liberation. Siddhartha, now a wandering ascetic, plunged headfirst into years of extremely rigorous practices. He sought wisdom from various spiritual teachers, mastering their techniques, but found no lasting answer. Driven by the prevailing belief that enlightenment could only be achieved through extreme physical deprivation, he subjected his body to incredible, punishing austerities. He endured prolonged fasts that left him skeletal and frail, meditating for countless hours in harsh, unforgiving conditions. He pushed his body to the very brink of starvation and exhaustion, convinced that mortifying the flesh was the direct route to spiritual liberation. His dedication was absolute, a testament to his fervent desire to transcend suffering. Yet, despite his extreme efforts and profound suffering, true liberation remained elusive. He realized with startling clarity that neither the excessive luxury of his palace life nor the severe privation of his ascetic phase had brought him closer to genuine wisdom. Both extremes, he concluded, were merely different forms of attachment, one to pleasure, the other to the pain of self-denial. This critical insight led him to reject both extremes. He understood that true enlightenment lay not in indulgence nor in torture, but in finding a balanced, harmonious path, what he would later call the middle way. This was a path of moderation, where the body was neither pampered nor punished, allowing the mind to achieve clarity without unnecessary distractions from either extreme. This was a profound moment of detachment from his own ego and its preconceived notions. He let go of the rigid idea of how enlightenment should be attained. He detached himself from the very performance of spiritual practice, realizing that the attachment to specific methods or expected outcomes was just another subtle form of bondage. The goal was not self-flagellation, but self-understanding. He finally understood that the pursuit itself, if clung to too tightly, could become an obstacle. He needed to release the need for results, the attachment to a particular outcome, and simply be present. This radical shift in perspective marked a crucial turning point in his journey, setting the stage for his ultimate profound breakthrough. He was finally ready to truly let go. Having renounced extremes and embraced the middle way, Siddhartha sought a quiet place for intense meditation. He settled beneath a large Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, firmly resolving not to rise until he had attained complete enlightenment. His intention was unshakable, his focus absolute, his mind poised for the ultimate breakthrough. As he meditated, he faced profound psychological challenges, often personified as Mara, the demon of the mind. Mara tried to tempt him with earthly pleasures, beautiful women, and promises of power, attempting to reawaken his old attachments. He also assailed Siddhartha with fears, doubts, and threats, aiming to make him abandon his quest. But Siddhartha remained steadfast. He calmly recognized Mara's temptations and threats as mere illusions, products of his own mind and old attachments to pleasure, fear, and ego. He gently, yet firmly, detached himself from these mental snares, refusing to be swayed. Each temptation became an opportunity to reinforce his commitment to inner liberation. In a moment of supreme clarity, after countless hours of unwavering meditation, as the morning star appeared, Siddhartha experienced the ultimate breakthrough. He understood the fundamental truths of existence, the Four Noble Truths, the reality of suffering, its origin in attachment, the possibility of its cessation, and the path leading to that cessation. It was an awakening like no other. With this profound understanding, all remaining fear, all sense of possession, all clinging vanished completely. He achieved a state of absolute inner peace and liberation, free from the cycles of craving and suffering. He had unlocked true freedom, not by gaining anything but by letting go of everything that could bind him. At that moment, Siddhartha became the Buddha, the awakened one. For the rest of his long life, he compassionately shared this profound wisdom, teaching the path of detachment, mindfulness, and loving kindness to countless others. His journey from prince to enlightened master remains a timeless testament to the transformative power of letting go. The incredible journey of Siddhartha Gautama is, at its heart, an epic of detachment. He shows us with vivid clarity that true freedom isn't about having everything in the material sense, but rather about reaching a state where we no longer need anything external to feel utterly complete. He courageously detached himself from gold, from power, from family, from pain, from his very quest, and ultimately, from his own ego, to discover unparalleled inner peace. So what on earth does this ancient, profound narrative mean for us in our bustling modern lives today? It's a fantastic question, isn't it? The core message isn't about literally abandoning your job or family. That's not what we're saying at all. Instead, it's about a radical shift in perspective, a change in how we relate to the world around us and within us. Detachment, contrary to popular belief, definitely isn't indifference. It's not about becoming cold or uncaring. Far from it. It means loving deeply without feeling the need to possess, control, or cling to others. It's about being able to genuinely appreciate the good things in your life, your home, your gadgets, your successes, without letting those things define you or hold you captive. True freedom from fear, you see, really kicks in when we manage to detach from our incessant need for control. We often desperately try to control outcomes, other people, or the future, don't we? But the fear of loss only truly exists because we're so tightly attached to whatever it is we stand to lose. Letting go of that grip can be incredibly liberating. Practically speaking, how can we actually apply this in our day-to-day existence? You don't have to become an ascetic overnight, don't worry. Start small. Maybe try detaching from an old, stubborn opinion you've held onto for ages. Perhaps donate a piece of clothing you haven't worn in years. Or even more powerfully, release a lingering resentment towards someone. Try letting go of an unrealistic expectation you have for yourself or others. These small acts of conscious release build muscle, strengthening your capacity for greater detachment. It's about creating mental space, breathing room, and fostering an inner sanctuary that isn't dependent on external circumstances for its serenity. It's a game changer, honestly. Ultimately, as Buddha's story so beautifully illustrates, genuine freedom doesn't reside in accumulating more stuff or in a never-ending chase for external security. It lives squarely in our profound ability to simply let go, to gracefully embrace life's inherent impermanence, and to discover a deep, abiding completeness within ourselves, utterly independent of what the world can give or take away. Thank you so much for joining us on this enlightening journey today. We really hope Siddhartha's story sparked something truly meaningful within you. What was the most impactful lesson about detachment that resonated with you from today's discussion? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom, hit that like button, and we'll see you in the next video.